Hey guys, Karasif here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Henshin Belt Deluxe Buggle Driver II and Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashat from Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. This is the upgraded version of the original Buggle Driver, as well as the Gashat used by Kamen Rider Chronos and the right players to transform. This set includes several things: the Gashat Bugvisor Zwei, the Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashat, a Bugster buckle, a grip, and a set of belt straps. So, let's get started. Starting off, we'll look at the included Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashat. So, for this Gashat, the front part is black, while the back is lime green. For the game art, you can see the title Kamen Rider Chronicle up here. And then you can see silhouettes of the various riders: Kamen Rider Chronos, Ex-Aid, Brave, Snipe, Laser, Paradox Fighter Gamer, and Paradox Puzzle Gamer. On the side, you can see Rider Chronicle. And you have the top insertion part, which has a diagonal pattern that has not been seen before on any previous Gashats. Now, what makes this Gashat unique is that this is the first one that allows for transformation on its own without the use of any kind of driver. In this case, it's used to transform into a ride player, which is a generic rider-like character that is used as the players in the Kamen Rider Chronicle game, as basically a survival game. So, for the first press, we have to get the name activation. Then the ride player transformation. Then game start. Then either game clear or game over. And we can look at that again from the back, where we can see the image of Kamen Rider Chronos. Now, what's interesting about this Gashat is that, unlike most other Gashats, this seems to have a reset timer, where if you press the activation button and then wait for a few seconds, it will reset back to the initial name activation. Next, we'll look at the Buggle Driver II itself. Now, the first thing I want to mention is the name, as it is one of the biggest oddities about this toy, in that on the packaging this is spelled as the Buggle Driver II in Roman numerals, but the toy itself pronounces its name as Buggle Driver Zwei, being the German word for two. Now, this is weird for a couple of different reasons. The first being obviously that the Roman numeral 2 is typically not pronounced as the German Zwei, and the second is that this is the first time that Kamen Rider has really used that German word for 2, since the Dragvisor Zwei and Darkvisor Zwei from Master Rider Ryuki. So it just comes off as weird that they didn't decide to either have it typically just always spelled as Zwei using katakana, or just have it pronounced the Buggle Driver II. So, first off, we'll look at the core of it, which is the Gashat Bugvisor Zwei. For this, the main bike cover is silver plastic. Then we've got some metallic bluish green, metallic red, and metallic blue as the paint colors. You see, it still has all the same basic details as the original. Though if you look in the side, you can kind of see that it's obviously going to have a different light-up pattern. You got, of course, the speaker, the activation switch, the A and B buttons, the Gashat slot, the different switches on the back for different modes. Battery cover takes two AA batteries, or two AAAs rather, and the on-off switch on the bottom, as well as the two release levers. You then have the Bugster buckle. This is the same piece that came with the original set, just in silver instead of black. Then we have the belt straps, which are done up in a black plastic instead of silver, basically inverting the colors of the original Bugster buckle. Now, like with last time, the way these are applied to the Bugster buckle is the same. So you want to first take the L strap, slide in through here, and take the R strap, slide in through the other side, and snap it in place. Put on the two securing stoppers, connect them together, then pull around the loops. And there we have the completed Bugvisor buckle. Now, one thing that this set includes that the original set did not, which is a great addition, is this. This is a special extender piece made just for this type of belt. And this was obviously done because this style of belt is one that they have not released an official extension for, meaning that for adult collectors who bought the original Bugvisor buckle or Buggle Driver set, they really weren't able to wear it properly unless they somehow modified it. But with this piece, this is now better able to fit at least some adult waist sizes. And obviously this can be used with the original Bugvisor buckle as well. And of course, by attaching the Bugvisor to the buckle, we get the completed Buggle Driver Zwei. Though for the purposes of the review and for the demonstration, I'll be removing the belt straps. Next up, we can get to the functionality of the Buggle Driver Zwei. Starting off, we're obviously going to want to switch it on down here, which will get the name activation. And you'll notice that this uses the same voice as the Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashat, which is different from the normal Gashat and gear voice. So on its own, a quick press of either button will give you a stage select sound.
Stage select. Stage select. Stage select.
And pressing and holding any of the buttons will get you a restart sound. Or rather, reset. Next, we can take it and attach it to the Bugvisor buckle. You get an attachment sound, but you'll notice that it doesn't immediately start playing a standby sound. For that, you need to press the A button. And you can stop it by pressing the A button again. So with this, you can activate the Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashat. Insert it into the Gashat slot. Then press the A button and activate the switch up here for the transformation into Kamen Rider Chronos. And there you have the transformation into Kamen Rider Chronos, and obviously you can skip that by just activating the lever up here. Next, if we press both A and B buttons, that will give you a pause sound. And this basically gives Chronos the power to freeze time. Then you can restart time by pressing the buttons again. Next, you can activate the Kiwamareri by pressing the B button. Then pressing either A or B. and activates the Critical Crusade attack, though for some reason in the show it's spelled as Cruise Aid. From there, you can take it off of the Bugster buckle, then bring in the grip, and attach it to one side to get the Gashat Bugvisor Zwei from pad mode to beam gun mode or chainsaw mode. So we'll start with beam gun mode. So there we go. One cool thing is that if you switch it off and back on while it's in either the beam gun or chainsaw mode, it'll actually announce itself as the Gashat Bugvisor Zwei instead of the Buggle Driver Zwei. So in beam gun mode, pressing A will give you the standard beam gun attack sound. And pressing B button will activate standby for a Kiwamareri attack. Pressing B again will actually start it over. So you have to press A to activate it. And for this, at random, instead of saying Kaishin no Ippatsu, it'll say Shuen no Ichigeki. Then we can take it off, flip it around, and get the chainsaw mode. For that, we can press the B button for a chainsaw attack. And press the A button for the Kiwamareri. Then B button to activate it. So that activates the Critical Sacrifice. Now, one interesting little neat touch about the two attacks for the Bugvisor modes is the way that it kind of hints at what you should do. As for the beam gun mode, you press the B button, it'll activate a red light, meaning you should press the red button, and vice versa. This activates a blue light, which indicates to press the blue button. And there are no extra sounds if you hold down any of the buttons while it's in the beam gun or chainsaw mode. Then we can eject the Gashat with this lever here. Next we can use the Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashat with the Gamer Driver. So we'll start by activating it. And insert it into slot 1. And for that, instead of the typical level 1 transformation sound, we actually get the ride player transformation with multicolored lights. Then we can open up for a level 2 transformation. Then we'll close it up, take out the Gashat, switch it over to slot 2, and open it up again for a level 3 transformation. And they only really apply level 2 and level 3 to these sounds because Kamen Rider Chronos does not have a stated level. We can then do a combination sound. For this, I'll just bring in Mighty Action X.
Mighty Action X! Kamen Rider Kizame Chronicle. Toki wa Kiwamareri.
Next up, we'll test out the two Kimawaza attacks for the Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashat. First, using the slot holder for the critical strike. In this case, we get a more unique attack sound. Then we can use the Gashat Breaker for the critical finish. And finally, we can test out what sound it makes with the Gashat Key Slasher. And there we go! So overall, while on the surface this is just a recolor of the original Buggle Driver, if we dig deeper, we can see that this is far and away the superior version. For starters, unlike the original, which was released in kind of two parts, with a bit of a gap between them, with this you get all the functionality straight out of the box, and you don't have to buy two different sets, or wait and then buy a set later. Second off, this does fix a lot of the flaws that the original Bugvisor had. Starting off with the Bugvisor itself, one of the things that was perhaps my biggest gripe about the original Gashat Bugvisor was that it had no Kimawaza attacks, but with this, instead of just giving you a generic, same finisher attack for both modes that had no kind of standby phase, in this case, they decided to kind of split up the Kimawaza attacks so that there are three of them and one of them for each mode. And then getting down to the Buggle Driver mode, it first improves on the original by having an extension part that adults can use to wear it if they have waists that'll fit the sizes that it extends up to. And second, it also has improved by not immediately going into the transformation standby whenever you attach it to the buckle. Instead, having you press a button to activate the standby, then press the trigger to activate it, while still having a Kimawaza attack sound. Not only that, it also adds in some extra features with which buttons are pressed in which mode, so it overall has a lot more to do than the original, not to mention that the Kamen Rider Chronicle Gashat is very unique in that it has its own unique voice that no other Gashat has, as well as the ability to both be used on its own for transformation, as well as with the Buggle Driver and the Gamer Driver, as well as every other Gashat compatible device. So overall, if you want to get just one version of the Gashat Bugvisor, then I would definitely recommend picking up this version over the other one, just because this does a lot more and it does it better than the original did. But obviously this one does have different sounds than the other, as well as a different Gashat, so it is also worth picking up both, especially because the extension part for the belt that is included with this can be used for both of them, so this will actually add on to your enjoyment of the original Bugvisor if you have this. So overall, definitely very highly recommended. Next time, I'll be reviewing the Kyutama Cockpit Set 02. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you knew you would like to see more, please subscribe. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.